Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about how often you should be watering tomato plants. So I have these tomato plants right here in my parents' backyard, and I'm just going to be talking to you about the frequency of your watering and give you sort of a few tips with regards to watering tomato plants properly. Now, it can differ depending on whether your tomato plants are planted in the soil, like mine are right here, or if your tomato plants are planted in a separate container, okay? Now, in a separate container, they're going to have limited space to grow, so the roots aren't going to go as deep as the tomato plants that are in the soil. Tomato plants in the soil, like this, are going to have much deeper roots, and therefore the watering, the type of watering and the frequency of watering will differ from tomato plants that are in a separate container, differ from that than the tomato plants that are in the soil. Okay, so I'm going to go over the ones in the soil first, and then we'll talk about tomato plants in a container. So, tomato plants that are in soil, okay, the roots go quite deep, so you should be watering them once or twice a week, and when you water them, you should be watering them sort of heavier, with heavier watering, meaning the water is going to go deeper. So you're going to be spraying more water around the plant and allow the water to sink deeper into the soil because the roots will go deep into the soil. So you're going to be watering the tomato plants once or twice a week, and with each time that you water the tomato plants, those once or twice a week, you are going to make sure that the water goes about 1.5 to 2 inches deep into the soil. Now, it all depends on the weather. If it is really sunny and really hot and really dry, then you should be watering those tomato plants in the soil twice a week. However, if it rained that week, or if it isn't too hot, if it's really shady in the area, then you can probably get away with watering them once a week. Now, tomato plants that are in a separate container, for those, you're going to try and water them every single day, but you're going to do a very light watering, okay? You're just going to basically do a very light watering every single day, since there's not as much soil, around the tomato plants, and the roots don't go nearly as deep, okay? So, depending on whether your tomato plants are in the soil or in a separate container, you are going to water them differently. Once again, for the tomato plants in the soil, you're going to be watering once or twice a week, and you're going to do a deep, heavy watering, making sure that the water goes down about 1.5 to 2 inches into the soil. And for tomato plants that are in a separate container, you're just going to make sure that you water every single day, but you're going to do a very, very, very light watering on the plant. And that's basically it. In this video, I have spoken to you about watering tomato plants, and I have spoken to you basically about how often you should be watering your tomato plants. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.